Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. I need you to hear me today. Not just with your ears, but with your heart. Because what I'm about to tell you might just be the wake-up call you've been waiting for. See, life ain't waiting on you. Life don't care about your excuses. Life don't care about your fears. Life don't care about how comfortable you are. The clock is ticking, and the question is, are you going to keep hitting snooze, or are you finally going to wake up and make a change? Some of y'all been stuck in the same situation for years. Same job you hate. Same toxic relationships. Same bad habits. You keep saying, one day I'm going to get it together. One day I'm going to chase my dream. But let me tell you something. One day ain't on the calendar. If you don't decide to change today, then what makes you think tomorrow is going to be any different? Life has a funny way of moving forward, whether we're ready or not. Every single day, the sun rises, time moves, and the world keeps turning, but some of us are still asleep, still stuck in the same old patterns, still waiting for something magical to happen before we decide to move. We keep hitting snooze, not just on our alarms, but on our dreams, our goals, and our potential. We tell ourselves, just a little longer, just one more day. I'll start next week. I'll change next month. And before we know it, years have passed and we're still in the same place, wondering why nothing has changed. It's not that we don't want better. It's not that we don't have the desire to grow, to achieve, to become something greater than we are right now. It's that comfort is a powerful thing. Comfort convinces us that where we are is good enough, even when deep down we know we were made for more. Comfort whispers that change is too hard, too risky, too uncertain. And so we stay. We stay in jobs we hate. We stay in relationships that drain us. We stay in habits that harm us. Not because we want to, but because the idea of change feels overwhelming. But here's the truth. Every time you hit snooze on your life, you are making a decision to settle, a decision to stay stuck, a decision to waste the time you've been given. And time, that's the one thing you don't get back. You can make more money, you can build new relationships, you can fix mistakes, but you cannot rewind time. Once it's gone, it's gone. And the saddest thing in the world is looking back and realizing that you had every opportunity to change, but you kept pushing it off for later, for tomorrow, for the right time that never actually came. Excuses are easy. We tell ourselves that we're waiting for the right moment, the right circumstances, the right opportunity. But in reality, what we're really waiting for is permission to believe in ourselves. We wait for some sign, some outside force to push us into action. But no one is coming to do it for you. No one is going to show up, grab you by the hand, and lead you into the life you've been dreaming about. That's on you. That's your job. The people who succeed, the people who make it, the people who break free from their old lives and step into something better, they aren't necessarily the smartest, the luckiest, or the most talented. They are the ones who made a decision. They got tired of waiting, tired of hoping, tired of watching life pass them by while they sat on the sidelines, and one day they just got up. They just started. They didn't have all the answers. They didn't have everything figured out, but they understood that waiting wasn't going to get them anywhere. And let's be honest, how many times have you told yourself you were going to change? How many times have you made promises to yourself that you didn't keep? You said you were going to start that business. You said you were going to leave that toxic relationship. You said you were going to get in shape, save money, follow your passion, stop wasting time, and yet here you are. Still saying the same thing, still making the same excuses, still waiting for something outside of you to force you into action. Nothing changes if nothing changes. If you keep doing what you've always done, you will keep getting what you've always gotten. You can't pray for growth while clinging to comfort. You can't ask for a better life while refusing to make better choices. You can't expect change when you're still pressing snooze on the very things that could transform your life. You have the power, you always have. But power means nothing if you don't use it. Talent means nothing if you don't develop it. Opportunities mean nothing if you don't take them. You don't need another sign You don't need more motivation. You don't need more time. You need to wake up, you need to get up, and you need to make a decision right now to stop delaying, stop stalling, stop playing small, and start stepping into what's meant for you. We love to say, one day I'll do it. One day I'll chase my dream. One day I'll start that business. One day I'll get in shape. One day I'll leave this toxic situation. But the problem is, one day is a fantasy. It's a comfortable illusion we create to make ourselves feel better about not taking action today. It tricks us into believing that change is still possible without requiring us to do anything right now. It keeps us in a cycle of waiting, delaying, and hoping while time continues to move forward without us. Think about it. How many times have you said, I'll start Monday? Monday comes and goes, and suddenly it's next Monday, then next month, then next year. We keep pushing our goals further into the future, convincing ourselves that some perfect moment will arrive when everything feels right. But that moment never comes. There will never be a day when everything is easy, when all fears disappear, when all obstacles vanish, when motivation is endless. The truth is, if you aren't willing to take action now, you won't be willing to take action later. People wait for motivation thinking that one day they will wake up with this unstoppable energy to change their life. But motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes like the weather. If you rely on motivation, you'll always be waiting. What you need is discipline, commitment, and a decision. A decision that no matter how you feel, no matter how tired you are, no matter how scared you are, you will take a step forward. You will do what needs to be done today, not tomorrow, not when you feel like it, not when the timing is perfect, because perfect timing is a myth. The most successful people in the world don't wait for inspiration to hit them. They don't wait until they feel ready. They understand that success comes from consistency, from showing up even when it's hard, from doing what needs to be done even when they don't feel like it. They take action now because they know that waiting only leads to regret. Look back at the last 5 years of your life. How many things did you say you were going to do that you never did? How many dreams did you let sit on the shelf? How many goals did you abandon because you told yourself you get to them one day? And here's the real question. How much further could you be right now if you had just started when you first thought about it? It's not that you don't have time. You have the same 24 hours as everybody else. It's that you keep giving your time to things that don't move you forward. You scroll for hours, you binge watch shows, you procrastinate on things that matter. You say you're too busy, but when you really look at it, you're not busy, you're just choosing comfort over progress. And as long as you keep making that choice, nothing will change. Fear plays a big role in this. We don't take action because we're afraid of failing. We don't start because we're afraid we're not good enough, that we don't have what it takes. So we push it off thinking that if we wait long enough, the fear will go away. But fear never leaves. You don't outgrow fear. You learn to move through it. The only way to build confidence, to get better, to become the person you want to be, is to start before you're ready. People say they're waiting for a sign, but how many signs do you need? Every day you wake up is a sign. Every moment you feel stuck is a sign. Every time you think about changing your life but don't do anything about it, that's a sign. The truth is, you already know what you need to do. You already know what's holding you back. The problem isn't knowing, the problem is doing. Excuses will always be there if you look for them. There will always be reasons to wait, always obstacles in the way, always something that makes it inconvenient to start now. But people who win in life don't wait for circumstances to be perfect. They work with what they have. They start where they are. They make mistakes. They fail. They learn. But they keep moving because they know that one day is just another way of saying never. Fear has a way of keeping people trapped in the same place for years, sometimes even for a lifetime. It whispers doubts in your ear, making you believe that stepping into the unknown is too risky, too difficult, too unpredictable. It convinces you that staying where you are is safer, easier, and more comfortable. And that's the problem, comfort. Comfort feels good in the moment, but in the long run, it becomes a prison. It keeps you from growing, from evolving, from reaching the potential that's inside of you. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they never try. They never step outside of what's familiar. They never take a chance on themselves. They get so used to their routine, so used to the way things are, that they convince themselves change is unnecessary. But deep down, they know better. Deep down, they feel that pull, that voice inside them that says, there's more for you. The problem is they silence that voice with fear. Fear makes you second guess yourself. It makes you question whether you're good enough, whether you have what it takes, whether you deserve more. And so you sit on your dreams, you ignore your goals, and you watch other people live the life you wish you had, not because they're better than you, not because they have more talent or luck, but because they refused to let fear stop them. They felt fear, but they moved anyway. Every time you let fear make your decisions, you are choosing to stay stuck. You are choosing to give up on yourself before you even try. You are choosing to settle for less than what you're capable of. And settling might feel okay for a while, but eventually it leads to regret. You start wondering what could have been, what you could have achieved if only you had been brave enough to take that first step. And regret, that's a pain worse than fear. Fear of failure is one of the biggest lies people believe. The truth is, failing is not the worst thing that can happen. The worst thing that can happen is never trying at all. When you fail, you learn, you grow, you figure out what works and what doesn't. Every successful person you admire has failed more times than you can count. The difference is they didn't let failure define them. They didn't see it as a reason to quit. They saw it as a lesson, as a stepping stone, as part of the journey. Fear of judgment holds people back just as much as fear of failure. Too many people worry about what others will think. They don't chase their dreams because they're afraid of being laughed at, afraid of being criticized, afraid of looking foolish. But let's be real, people are going to judge you no matter what you do. If you play it safe and stay where you are, people will have something to say. If you take a risk and chase something bigger, people will have something to say. So if judgment is inevitable, why not do what makes you happy? Why not go after what you really want? Fear convinces you that you need certainty before you take action, that you need to know exactly how things will turn out. But that's impossible. No one ever has all the answers before they start. No one ever knows exactly how the journey will unfold. But they start anyway. They take that first step even when they're unsure, even when they're afraid, because they understand that clarity comes from action, not from waiting. Fear will always be there. It doesn't disappear just because you ignore it. It doesn't go away just because you wish it would. The only way to overcome fear is to face it, to do the thing you're afraid of, to step into the unknown, even when your hands are shaking, even when your heart is pounding, even when your mind is filled with doubts. Because once you take that step, you realize something. Fear was never as powerful as you thought it was. It only had control over you because you let it. It only had power because you gave it permission. Every great achievement, every major breakthrough, every incredible success story started with someone who was afraid but did it anyway. Someone who refused to let fear be the reason they didn't try. Someone who decided that staying the same was more painful than taking a chance. Fear is a trap, but only if you let it be. The moment you decide to push through it, to move despite it, to take action in the face of it, is the moment you take control of your life again. Nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to hand you the life you dream about. Nobody is going to wake you up one day and say, here it is, everything you've ever wanted. That's your job. Your success, your happiness, your growth, your future, it's all on you. The moment you understand that, everything changes. Because as long as you keep waiting for someone else to do it for you, as long as you keep blaming other people, as long as you keep making excuses, you will stay exactly where you are. People waste so much time complaining about their circumstances, talking about how unfair life is, pointing fingers at everything and everyone except themselves. And sure, maybe life hasn't been fair. Maybe you didn't get the best start. Maybe you've had obstacles that others didn't. But the truth is, none of that changes the fact that your life is still your responsibility. No one is going to feel sorry for you and suddenly hand you a new life. No one is going to show up and magically fix everything for you. If you want something different, you have to do something different. Too many people sit around waiting for permission to be great, waiting for the perfect time, waiting for someone to encourage them, to validate them, to tell them it's okay to chase their dreams. But if you keep waiting for permission, you'll be waiting forever. The only permission you need is your own. The only person who can decide when it's time to change your life is you. You don't need someone else to believe in you. You need to believe in yourself. You don't need someone else to push you. You need to push yourself. Because at the end of the day, nobody is as invested in your future as you are. People may love you, they may support you, they may even want the best for you, but they're not going to do the work for you. That's on you. If you're not where you want to be, take a hard look at the choices you've made, because every decision you've ever made has led you to this moment. Every habit, every action, every excuse, every opportunity you did or didn't take. It all added up to the life you have right now. And if you don't like where you are, that means it's time to make different choices. It means it's time to stop blaming your circumstances and start taking control. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy to say, I didn't have the same chances as other people. It's easy to say, I didn't get the right support. It's easy to say I wasn't given the same opportunities. But successful people don't focus on what they didn't have. They focus on what they can do with what they have. They don't sit around feeling sorry for themselves. They don't waste time complaining about what's missing. They take what they have and they make it work. There are people out there who started with nothing, who had every reason to quit, who faced challenges bigger than you can imagine, but they made it anyway. Not because someone handed them success, not because they got lucky, but because they refused to give up. They refused to sit around and wait for things to change. They went out and made it happen. Nobody is going to come to your door and deliver success to you. You have to go out and get it. You have to show up every day and put in the work, even when it's hard, even when you don't feel like it, even when you're tired, even when it seems like nothing is happening. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. Successful people don't wait for life to change. They change their life. Your excuses are not special. Your fears are not unique. Everyone has doubts. Everyone has struggles. Everyone has reasons to quit. But winners push through. Winners take responsibility. Winners understand that success isn't given, it's earned. And the only person who can earn it for you is you. Not everyone is going to support you. Not everyone is going to believe in your dreams. Not everyone is going to clap for you when you decide to change. And that's okay. Too many people let the opinions of others keep them stuck. They let doubt, criticism, and negativity from people around them hold them back from going after what they really want. They shrink themselves to fit in. They play small to avoid making others uncomfortable. They silence their own dreams just to keep the peace. But at the end of the day, it's not their life, it's yours. When you start making moves, when you start working on yourself, when you start leveling up, people are going to have something to say. Some will doubt you. Some will try to discourage you. Some will question why you're even trying, not because they truly care about you, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. When you change, you force others to look at themselves. And some people don't want to do that. Some people would rather see you stay the same because it makes them feel better about where they are. You have to understand that not everyone in your life is meant to go with you to the next level. Some people are only meant to be in your life for a season. And that's one of the hardest lessons to learn. When you grow, you will outgrow people. When you elevate, you will leave some people behind. It doesn't mean you don't care about them. It doesn't mean you think you're better than them. It just means you're choosing your future over their comfort. It means you're refusing to stay in the same place just to make other people feel secure. There will be people who laugh at your dreams. There will be people who tell you it's impossible. There will be people who remind you of every time you've failed in the past. trying to convince you that you'll fail again. But those people don't define you. Their opinions don't determine your future. Their doubts don't limit what you're capable of. The only thing that matters is what you believe. Some of the people closest to you will be the ones who doubt you the most. Family, friends, even people you've known your whole life may not support your vision. Not because they want to hurt you, but because they can't see what you see. They are looking at you through the lens of who you've always been, not who you are becoming. They remember your mistakes, your weaknesses, your past failures, and they assume that's all you'll ever be. But you are not your past, you are not your mistakes, you are not limited by what other people think you can do. You can't spend your life trying to prove people wrong. You can't waste your energy arguing with people who don't believe in you. You can't spend your time begging for support from people who were never meant to be part of your journey. Let your success be your response. Let your growth be your answer. Let your results speak for themselves. You have to be okay with walking alone sometimes. You have to be okay with being misunderstood. You have to be okay with people thinking you've changed, because you have. Growth requires change. Elevation requires separation. If you spend your life trying to stay connected to everyone, you will end up losing yourself in the process. The truth is, the people who are meant for you will support you. The right people will see your vision, even if they don't fully understand it. The right people will celebrate your growth, not try to hold you back. The right people will push you forward, not pull you down. And if someone in your life can't handle your growth, that's their issue, not yours. You can't afford to let small-minded people talk you out of big dreams. You can't let fear of judgment stop you from stepping into your purpose. You can't let the opinions of others hold more weight than your own belief in yourself. Because at the end of the day, the people who doubted you won't have to live with the regret of you not chasing your dreams. You will. Excuses will keep you exactly where you are. They will convince you that it's okay to settle, that it's okay to wait, that it's okay to put off the things you know you should be doing. Excuses sound good in the moment. They sound logical, they sound reasonable, they make you feel justified in your inaction. But when you look back on your life, you're not going to remember the excuses. You're going to remember the opportunities you missed, the chances you didn't take, the moments you let fear or doubt talk you out of moving forward. People are experts at making excuses. They say they don't have enough time, but they waste hours scrolling on their phone or watching TV. They say they don't have enough money, but they spend on things that don't add value to their future. They say they don't have enough experience, but they never take the first step to gain any. The truth is, excuses are just a way to avoid discomfort, because change is uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Pushing yourself to do something new is uncomfortable, but so is regret, so is staying stuck, so is waking up years from now and realizing you let your own excuses hold you back. The most dangerous excuses are the ones that sound reasonable. I'm too old to start over. I'm too young to be taken seriously. I don't have the right connections. I don't know where to start. These excuses sound logical, but they're not the real problem. The real problem is the fear underneath them. The fear of failure, the fear of rejection, the fear of looking foolish, the fear of putting in the effort and not seeing results right away. But every person who has ever achieved something great had those same fears. The difference is they didn't let them win. There will never be a perfect moment. There will never be a time when everything lines up exactly right, when you feel 100% ready, when there are no risks, no doubts, no unknowns. And that's why you have to start anyway. You have to take action despite the fear, despite the uncertainty, despite the discomfort. Because if you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will be waiting forever. People say they'll start tomorrow, but when tomorrow comes, they find another excuse. They say they'll start next week, next month, next year, but the pattern continues, and before they know it, years have gone by and they're still stuck in the same place, still making the same excuses, still telling themselves the same lies about why they haven't moved forward. Excuses are nothing more than lies we tell ourselves to justify our lack of action. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to call yourself out when you catch yourself making excuses. You have to be honest with yourself about whether you're really too busy, too broke, too inexperienced, or if you're just avoiding the discomfort of taking that first step. Because once you strip away the excuses, all that's left is a decision. A decision to either take action or stay the same. A decision to either push forward or give up before you even try. The people who succeed are not the ones who had perfect circumstances. They're the ones who refuse to accept their excuses. They're the ones who found a way even when the odds were against them. They're the ones who started with what they had, who worked with what was in front of them, who made progress even when it was slow. They didn't wait for things to be easy because they knew that waiting was just another way of avoiding responsibility. Excuses are comfortable, but comfort doesn't lead to success. Comfort keeps you stuck. Comfort keeps you repeating the same patterns, living the same life, settling for less than you're capable of. The moment you stop accepting your own excuses is the moment everything changes. The moment you decide to take responsibility for your own life, for your own choices, for your own future, is the moment you take back control.